It's time to get lost in the Midcard. This Believe in Pro Wrestling property is brought to you by Bet Online, the continued #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Join now and receive your 100% welcome bonus on your first deposit when you use our promo code BELIEVE. Now, here are Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black on the Believe Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we pay tribute to one half of them boys, Jay Briscoe. It is Lost in the Midcard. Welcome. A lot to get into tonight. We have Raw 30 at the top of the hour. Surprises, maybe. A lot of legends. We will fill you in on some of those things that have broke and let you know what's going on. Hey, the Royal Rumble is on Saturday as well. We will throw out our predictions at the end of the show and everything in between. We got a lot to cover here. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. And as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RAW XXX. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing, man?
Doing well. Last week was not a fun one.
Yeah.
You know, in any way, shape, or form in the world of pro wrestling, it really freaking sucked, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're still here. We're still moving on. We gotta honor the memory of a great dude, Jay Briscoe, and just my heart goes out to his family and his brother, and just his two baby girls, and just. It's a terrible situation. We've done a bunch of shows like this in the past, man. I don't think we've ever done one via video. So it's just it sucks. It really freaking sucks, man. I just I can't
Brody
really
Lee, I don't
put
know
into words how badly this all it just really freaking sucks.
Yeah, I can't remember if we were doing video when Brody Lee had passed or not.
I don't think so.
Which was 2 years ago. We might have been. I don't know. We may have just taken the week off, for what I know.
We might have. Sometimes we did take the week off because it was just too hard to freaking talk about. And we didn't want to, do a show like that. But
so, yeah, the unfortunately today is, of course, the sad passing of Jay Briscoe. News that we learned on early Tuesday evening. I was literally on the road when I saw Tony Khan's tweet, and I am getting ready to have to be entertaining and be on the microphone at a bar and host a trivia show. And I come across this news from Tony Khan here as I'm literally driving into the bar. And yeah, and it was, it was like I almost had to put the phone away because I'm just looking at reactions and tweets and everything.
I had to shut down social media for the night. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it's like thank God our show is 6 days later, so we can handle this a little better. If it was Wednesday, it would have been really rough. But there is some time has passed where we've been able to process everything, and there's been some great work done raising money for Jay's kids and his wife. Just announced today, Shop AEW has a tribute shirt out, which all proceeds will go to the family as well. Very sweet shirt too. The very cool shirt there. And the man was just shy of 39 and still many years left in his career. Obviously, you saw the trilogy against FTR in 2022, and little would we know that would be the swan song for the Briscoe brothers. And what a way to go out, because literally match of the year after match of the year is what those guys put on. And it literally eight years ago we started this podcast, Royal Rumble 2015, and because of Matt, I got into Ring of Honor. We started talking about Ring of Honor. I never watched Ring of Honor prior to Matt and I starting this show. And so I instantly became a fan of Jay and Mark and loved his ascension. Jay's ascension to the world title ranks was a hell of a run, man. He was a hell of a world champion, let alone a tag team champion. And just consistency is what the Briscoe brothers brought. But Jay, as a singles performer, proved that he could be on top of the world by himself, and there was no doubt about that. And you know, it is you know, it is sad, but you go back and you got a lot of great memories with this guy. He was a world champion twice with Ring of Honor. Him and Mark, 13-time world tag team champions. He held the 6-man tag titles with Bully Ray and his brother Mark also as well. Was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So it's pretty cool to see him get inducted into the Hall of Fame while he was still alive last year. Wrestling Observer named him and Mark Tag Team of the Year back in 2007. They were IWGP Tag Team title holders once, which kind of shows their reach. They're able to do this in Japan. Also held the never openweight 6-man tag titles with Toru Yano as well.
Tag team champions, GCW tag team champions. I mean,
yep.
You name it. The accomplishment that he did in his career are just bountiful. Just so many great things. And honestly, I think, you know, living in Maryland like I do, I feel like I've seen the Briscoes live probably more than any other wrestling act I've ever seen. And I've been to a lot of shows in my lifetime, but I feel like I've probably seen the Briscoes live and in person probably more than any other act in the world of wrestling. And just
I got to see them once, and that was with Matt.
Around anymore. Just
I saw them once with Matt. We were that's
Dallas.
the only Ring of Honor show I've been to, because they just don't go to Nebraska. Stay tuned there. Those in the chat, thank you for everybody to joining us live. We will get to your comments here in just a moment. And also, if you are not subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe to Believe in Pro Wrestling. Hit that notification bell. That way you know every time Matt and myself go live, as well as SP3 and Rick later on in the week. Make sure you subscribe, share, help us get us out to as many people as possible. We've been doing this unofficial official Raw pre-show for about 3 months now. It's been working great. You guys that are live with us every week make it great, and so we appreciate each and every one of you joining us live tonight. Yeah, I saw him. I saw the Briscoes once. That my only Ring of Honor show, because they just don't come to Nebraska. I looked it up. It was a 4-corner survival tag team match to become number 1 contenders, and guess who won? The Briscoe brothers. They took on the
boys.
They took on the Addiction, Daniels and Kazarian, Machine Guns, and the Young Bucks. That's a hell of a 4-way right there, man. Matt unfortunately missed the main event because he had to go meet Shinsuke Nakamura. But I
did Shinsuke and Asuka.
Yeah,
that was worth it. I had to bolt. I had those access tickets.
The main event of that show was Kyle O'Reilly beating Adam Cole in a dog collar match, which was great.
I would have liked to have seen that live, but I really wanted to meet Nakamura.
in the dark match, a couple of young and up and comers named Keith Lee and Shane Taylor wrestled in the dark match that as well. I got to meet them both. I got to say that I was impressed with them both, and I wish I could have said I see some big things coming from you kids, but I'm not clairvoyant. But of course, obviously, both Shane Taylor and Keith Lee led to a great career. But that was kind of great to see those guys be the local guys in a dark match in an ROH show, and then see what they become later on. But yeah, at least I did get to see the Briscoes one time in my life, and it was against 3 monumental tag teams.
Honestly, one of the best matches you could have gotten to see them with, mixed in with all that talent, man. It's just if you're only going to get to see them once, that's a great one to. It's a great one to see them in.
Mark Cho, of course, has been with the podcast for a majority of our 8 years, and he remembers we did not do video during Brody, or if we did one, or if we just didn't do a show, I can't remember there. But David Chambers, welcome to the show. Frantic World, welcome to the show. MK, yes, WBD can suck it. That's Warner Brothers Discovery.
I just want to say for the record how happy I am that Power Slap.
Oh my God.
Had one of the worst ratings I've ever seen as a follow-up to AEW. Look, we're only weeks away from Young Sheldon taking that time slot back because
3/4 of the audience dropped off.
Left. They're like, fuck this shit, we're out. And I love every single AEW fan who, when 10 o'clock hit and they saw Power Slap come on, they're like, fuck that, and they changed the channel.
Yeah,
I love you guys. Because that's what we all needed to do, and that's honestly what the Warner Brothers Discovery deserved for, continuing to air that program and not allowing Tony Khan and AEW to run a Jay Briscoe tribute show last week.
Yeah, I watched literally 2 minutes of that thing, and I'm like, how many slow-mo slaps to the face can one watch in a fucking hour?
Oh, I turned it off immediately. I didn't watch any. As soon as it started, I was like, I'm done.
I think I
immediately changed the channel.
I think I was playing golf on my phone or something, and I just had it on for a couple minutes, and I'm like, wow, this is terrible. Let us know what your thoughts on Jay Briscoe, what you loved. Obviously, Briscoes and FTR are front of mind because that's the last things we've basically had seen on a major platform. But other than that, I mean, back in the day, like Stephen Chambers says, Jay, great matches with Christopher Daniels. The Briscoes versus the Age of the Fall matches were really good from Frantic World in the chat here. So,
all good shit.
Yeah, MK in the chat. RAW XXX is going to be X-rated. Bring out the poppies. No, just kidding. It's going to be a nostalgia fest if you like that stuff. I like it, but a lot of times WWE has gone to it being a bland show. It's the same old shit. So hopefully under Triple H, mix things up, some surprises, maybe some good comedy. I hear we'll get into the Raw plans. Sean Rossap did post something about 6 or 7 hours ago. There's going to be a Legends poker tournament, maybe the $1 million belts on the line or something like that. That's going to involve a lot of the legends. But I think with Vince, it just got stale. It was like the same old boring shit, and it just didn't. It wasn't as exciting anymore.
Well, the problem with Vince in these shows is he did not take the opportunity to showcase the talent of today in big marquee matches to maybe attract the casual viewer that's coming back to see their old favorites to potentially convince them to want to stick around. And I think one thing Triple H has done for Raw 30 tonight is there's a bunch of big marquee matches tonight with some of the top stars of Raw and SmackDown on tonight's show. And I think Triple H is putting the main roster's best foot forward tonight, and I think they might actually get some people sold on some of those matches tonight, and come back for the Rumble, come back for the road to WrestleMania, because honestly, that's what it's all about.
I heard Undertaker might be getting involved in this Bray Wyatt LA Knight thing tonight.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works.
Oh,
I don't even know how you do that. And because if it's not leading to Wyatt and Undertaker at WrestleMania, why are you even teasing something like that?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Frantic World in the chat. Did you guys see what the CCO of WBD said about Power Slap? It's so stupid and funny. I did not, Matt.
I did.
You're nodding your head.
Yeah, I saw it.
What did he say?
It's a she, and she was under the impression that this type of content would appeal to the wrestling audience, and that's why they put it on as a follow-up to AEW. And look, a month ago, maybe some curiously interested wrestling fans would have tuned in a month ago, but then you had this scandal with Dana White, which turned a lot of people off. And then all the wrestling fans found out throughout the course of Wednesday evening that Warner Brothers Discovery wouldn't let Tony Khan do what he wanted to do on Dynamite that night. And everybody's just like, nah, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And and I don't blame. Hey, Warner Brothers Discovery, here's some free advice. Don't piss off wrestling fans. It
Right.
never ends well for you. It's
No.
not a good idea. Don't do it.
No. So anything else you want to say about Jay?
Just it really freaking sucks we never got to see him in AEW.
Yeah.
And I know Tony Khan at several points over the last year wanted to make that happen,
Yeah.
and he got stopped, every which way. I heard there were multiple times last year that Tony flew the Briscoes in to the show, hoping that he was going to be able to use them, and he got shot down every time.
Yeah.
And I think it really freaking sucks. And if Mark Briscoe wants to continue in this industry, I hope to God that they allow him on AEW programming and he can, go on the singles run. I think we all believe that he could have had.
Yeah.
And like let him run his career for his brother, man.
Yeah.
I'm really crossing my fingers and hoping that he's not done, and I'm hoping he gets to honor his brother's legacy going forward in the world of wrestling, and I hope he's allowed to do that on like the AEW stage as well as Ring of Honor.
Yeah, of course, Mark, unfortunately, his birthday fell right after that. His birthday was just on the
day
18th.
after, man.
Yeah.
Like the worst birthday imaginable.
Yeah.
Like how could you have a worse birthday than that?
Yeah, and Mark's even had some singles runs too when Jay was doing his thing as a solo act. He had his
I feel like
he had his chances.
TV. I feel like he had to run as TV champ.
No,
at some
he
point.
never did. He never did, but he was in the.
He got shots though, didn't he?
Yeah, he got shots. Yeah.
I was gonna say I definitely remember him getting the shot. I felt like he won it at one point, but so at some point you just get overloaded in too many wrestling matches and then start to blend together. That's disappointing. He never got that, but maybe he'll get one now. I mean, I don't know.
I would assume so. I would assume eventually he'll want to still go. He's only 38. But so hopefully we can get a run with him in AEW. Hopefully. Who shot down Tony having the Briscoes in AEW? Warner Brothers
Discovery. Yep.
Because of past remarks, which obviously
one remark
that
a decade ago
that he's made amends with many of the gay community in pro wrestling.
Dude, he's been apologizing for that for the last decade. How many times does someone need to say that they're sorry and not only say that they're sorry but back that up with actions?
Yeah, clearly he's made
not be allowed to have a fucking second chance in this world.
Clearly he's mended fences with many in the wrestling community after that. So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, just go look at Effie's comments about him if you have any doubt of the type of man that Jay Briscoe was.
Exactly.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, so hopefully they will allow Mark on television whenever he's ready to get back into the ring. I assume he's gonna want to get back into the ring to honor his brother. I would not doubt that for a second. So,
but if he doesn't, I totally
exactly
too.
Exactly.
Like I can't even imagine putting myself in his shoes.
Yeah.
And having that decision to make. Like,
yeah.
I respect what he decides either way. I want to see him back in the ring, but if he decides that he needs to call it quits, like, he had a hell of a run himself. So
yeah, exactly. Raw is going to be commercial free for the first hour, and the United States title match between Lashley and Theory, no disqualification. Those are some of the latest updates. Once we get some full updates, we will provide those to you. Next up, some intriguing stuff from Fightful Select here tonight. Coming down that rumors are Rock may not be coming back, and they confirmed that WWE has had some plans in the event that doesn't happen, along with some huge pitches. Fightful Select has learned that a pitch was made internally for a huge opponent for Stone Cold Steve Austin, which Fightful Select was told was Roman Reigns. We were told at the very least Austin's camp was approached with the possibility of it happening, which was said to have been for enormous money. In the summer of 2022 last year, Fightful reported that Austin was approached with a deal that wasn't as appealing from a financial standpoint. Those that Fightful spoke to in WWE claimed they have not heard back on whether the more recent offer was accepted or not. Another source indicated that another big name was offered to Austin in the months prior. As of early December, WrestleMania title matches, as reported by WrestlingNews.co, were slated to be either Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes against Seth Rollins in one night, and to be determined or Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns in another night. Now, I don't know if those were for the titles or not. That means the titles would have had to split before that happens.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly what they seem to be implying, that WWE has some kind of plans between now and WrestleMania to split those championships up.
I'm wondering if Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes wins. If Cody doesn't win the Rumble, I wonder if Roman has to put the Raw title up in the Chamber, and maybe Cody wins the Chamber.
But here's the thing. I feel like if Roman's dropping the WWE Championship, I don't think they want him pinned on the road to WrestleMania, so the Elimination Chamber doesn't work. I feel like he's got to drop it in a triple threat match. I feel like there'll be some kind of triple threat where he won't be pinned or submitted, and he'll get rid of the WWE Championship that way. And that seems like earmarked for, based on those matches. If those match layout hasn't changed, it seems like to me Seth Rollins would be winning the WWE Championship.
Yep.
And if it's either, at that point it's either Cody and Seth or Cody and Roman. If they don't get Austin,
well, in the way that's set up too, the way this is reading is Austin and Roman would not be for the title. Hence, that would be night one. Would be that match, because you've got.
Where did it say? I did not read that it wouldn't be for the title.
Well, that's because
to me this certainly implies that this would be for the Universal Championship.
Well,
the Roman's not going to drop both titles on the road to WrestleMania, and
if Roman wrestles both nights,
from my understanding, he's not going to wrestle both nights based on that report. The report was WWE still wants to do the one night thing with Roman, and they went from the idea of Roman and Rock to Roman and Stone Cold. But I don't foresee, it's going to have to be a lot of money to get Austin to agree to do a full match.
Yeah.
And if he's not at the Rumble on Saturday, it's not happening either. The one opportunity they have to do Austin versus Roman would have to come at the Rumble this Saturday, and Austin would have to win.
Yep.
And at that point,
the
WWE Championship's decided in a triple threat match at the Elimination Chamber, and Cody Rhodes wins the Elimination Chamber to become the number one contender for the WWE Championship. That's the only way that makes sense if they got Stone Cold. And that man is so freaking stubborn on the way that he does things. Until I hear the glass shatter and he's on his way to the ring, I'm not sure I 100% believe that this is going to be happening either. To me, the safe bet, just do Cody and Reigns. The royal family storyline's right there. You don't need to. I feel like Triple H is overthinking this right now, and I don't think you have to. I feel like everything's right there on the table. Do Drew and Seth for one title, do Cody and Reigns for the other. I just don't overthink this.
Yeah.
You really don't have to overcomplicate things on the road to WrestleMania here, but this next week's going to be crazy. I think we're going to be talking about some crazy shit right here on this show next week.
Ever since Triple H has taken over, a lot of returns have happened to the WWE, and as discussed by Fightful Select earlier today, it appears there are internal discussions to bring back the Authors of Pain, Akam and Rezar. Of course, they were a big part of the tag division in the black and gold days of NXT. And word is that Triple H is looking to bring them back and include, of course, their original manager, Paul Ellering, into the fold. there was rumors that Paul Ellering did not want to travel with the main roster schedule, which Paul had since said was false. So apparently it was a Vince decision to remove Ellering from the group there. They have not really wrestled much since their release from WWE. They did try the WES thing, which really fell apart. They did get blessings from those close with Paul Ellering. They could use the Legion of Pain name outside of the WWE, but they never really wrestled too much there. But both men, very talented if you ever watch them in NXT, and both men are under 30. So there's a lot left in these guys, and I think they could definitely contribute to WWE yet, Matt.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate seeing them back. You certainly can't rule it out. They're probably going to have a little bit of heat going into that locker room based on that flop show that they ran, that several people that were booked for are now back with that company. So they probably have some amends to make there, but like, I'm sure people get over it quick. Yeah, AOP with Paul Ellering, like that's money to me.
Yeah.
So
I figured they'd be in the main roster. Steven
they've
Chambers in the chat.
they've already done NXT. You don't need to put them back there. And look, the main roster could use some depth in their tag team division anyway, especially if they're going to end up splitting up those titles between now and in WrestleMania. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they are their return is imminent to the WWE. That's for sure. Of course, this coming Saturday is my favorite pay-per-view of the year, the Royal Rumble. Some details on the meetings that internally have happened within WWE to discuss the upcoming Royal Rumble match. Fightful Select is earned while several veterans have contacted WWE about making Royal Rumble appearances. WWE was said to have been leaning out of that in some cases in favor of what they call, quote, non-traditional surprises. What do you get by that, Matt? NXT?
I think non-traditional is more like, okay, these are joke surprise entrants that everybody knows has no chance of winning.
Yeah.
I'm hoping like a non-traditional means like somebody comes out and you're like, oh shit. I could see them, running the gauntlet and winning this thing type of deal. Like that's how I take it. I know Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, spoke earlier today. He's heard that he believes we'll see Chelsea Green in the Rumble. He believes we'll see Matt Cardona in the Rumble, and he also believes that there's a chance we'll see Nia Jax as well. So we'll see what the Rumble brings this year. It will be
it's gotta be better than last year.
I was just gonna say there's no way it could be worse than last year. So Triple H is playing with house money. I honestly think Triple H knows how bad last year was, and he wants to make a statement. With the Rumble on Saturday, I think we're gonna have a big one.
MK, like celebrities, that's what he means. Like,
I mean, Logan Paul maybe. Like if he's
non-traditional surprises,
healed and ready to roll.
So instead of
maybe Bad Bunny again, he's the pre-order bonus for
2K.
WWE 2K23. So maybe.
It's just not going to be like Godfather, or Diesel, or like they do every year. The old guys
the people you're seeing on Raw tonight are not going to be in the Royal Rumble on Saturday.
Yeah, there might be one or two. I don't know. You never know. But
I mean, like you're seeing like Ted DiBiase and IRS and. And stuff like that. Like, I don't foresee any of those guys popping up in the Rumble on Saturday.
Like here, Eric Young, Killian Dane, both free agents. Nick Aldis, a free agent. Fandango, possible. I would love to see Breezango get reformed.
Here's the freaking problem.
And I was gonna save this for later, but I was gonna say I think Pat McAfee's gonna be in the Royal Rumble match.
Here's the problem with this list. Nobody on this list, other than Pat McAfee, is going to get a pop.
Yeah.
If they come out. Whoever the surprises they use this weekend, they need to be names that are going to get a response from the crowd. And none of those other four names are going to get a big pop from the crowd. Fandango's down working an Impact right now. Look, we could see Aldis show up, but he's not going to get a reaction. And Dane and Young, if you're going to bring them back to do Sanity with Nikki Cross, which I think they should do, bringing them back at the Rumble's not the time to do it because it's going to go over like a fart in church. I
Yeah.
would not bring them in the Rumble. Bring them back a different way. Like,
Johnny
to me,
Knoxville, probably not. He did
you
that
can't,
last
but
year.
you can't roll it out either. People loved what he did last year.
He did great job. He did a great job at WrestleMania too.
So yeah, I'm saying, like, to me, any surprises that they have at the Rumble this year, they need to book them with in mind that the audience is going to react well.
Yeah.
To whoever they bring out.
And
if they're not going to, probably don't use them this year.
As MK says here, the rosters are bigger this year. They don't have to rely on past wrestlers. This is especially in the women's division. I watched last year's Royal Rumble earlier today, and the amount of past talent they brought in on that women's match was insane because Vince was adamant not to have any NXT wrestlers in there. You had so many women of the past in that match. It was crazy.
And you can't roll out the fact that there very well could only be a handful of surprises in the men's and the women's Rumble this year because they're right. We do have more than enough talents on already employed by the WWE main roster that
right now there's half.
You don't need to bring in a ton of people.
Half the men have been announced. Only a handful of women have been announced. There's a lot more room for women surprises, but only half the men have been announced. Here, Charles has got a good one here. You want a big pop the Rumble? Give us Barry Horowitz.
He's already working Impact. I sent you that tweet, Charles.
I would pop for that. Great Muta. No, he's done. He just wrestled his last match, so I don't think
his last match is next month. And
I thought it was already happening. Jeez.
No, like this. No, he's got another match. Like, not as the Great Muta. He's got another match coming in New Japan in February. I would love to see a Great Muta surprise. I think that would be really freaking cool.
I'm seeing a lot of people.
It'd be a legendary moment for him. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would like to see that.
I've seen a lot of people on the internet. I think also either Cultaholic or WrestleLabia mentioned it too. Like, there's some buzz about possibly Okada coming in at the Rumble, which would be crazy, but I don't think they're working with WWE.
Look, is there a chance you could see a New Japan star in favor for them letting Carl Anderson work Wrestle Kingdom? Sure. Do I really expect it? I do not.
No, you never know.
You have a much better chance of seeing Muta than you do of seeing somebody like Okada. I don't see that. I don't see that at all.
Going back
to the
really
don't. You have a better chance of seeing Jay White than you do of seeing Okada.
Yeah. Going back to the article, mentioned that WWE was, or more like Vince, was adamant of leaving NXT out of the Royal Rumble match. That'll probably change this year. I would not be surprised if a Carmelo Hayes or a Braun Breaker are in the Rumble, or an Indy Hartwell, or a hell, I don't know. You know, that I would expect some NXT names in there, maybe at least one or two on both matches. In addition, they were told as of last week, Ronda Rousey is not planned for the Royal Rumble until December. She was scheduled for a show in a singles match, and that changed, of course. In addition, they were told that WWE is very confident, as I was just mentioning, very confident in their women's roster with the hires and call-ups over the last year and how it would play into the Rumble match. Of course, last year, lots of veterans had come in, like the Bella Twins, Michelle McCool, Ivory, Kelly, Summer Rae, whole bunch. They had so many past stars in that match. So at least the women are going to be a little more fleshed out with current stars. Our last news item of the evening. Talk about WWE 2K23 again. Of course, we said that they were going to announce some things during Royal Rumble week, and they did. And coming to WWE 2K23, War Games. And, of course, your cover athlete this year, John Cena. So it's going to be a blank cover this year. What are your thoughts on those covers? I love the deluxe cover, the black and white type of deal with the chain, the padlock chain holding up the
that's the one I pre-ordered. I see no worthwhile investment in the Icon edition for an additional $20. I have no interest in the OVW gears of Cena and Batista and shit like that, and
Yeah.
then all the My Faction bullshit. Season Pass was in the middle version, and that's the one I went with. War Games is great because they've been working on 2K's been working on getting War Games in this game for a few years now. Like this was not like they didn't just turn around and get this done. They've been working on War Games for years, and I was even under the impression at some point in this game's development cycle, they were worried that this was going to be pushed into 2K24. So the fact that they were able to get this done and get it in 2K23, big deal. Really huge game mode to sell this new game on this year, because I really do believe that they'll be able to sell
As long as it doesn't
this.
break the game.
Well, let's not even go there.
We get another 2K20.
But I do think that they'll be able to sell the game this year just based on the fact that they've got War Games added. So
showcase playthrough an interactive sports documentary narrated by John Cena himself, covering key moments and toughest opponents of John Cena's storied 20-year WWE career, and in a franchise first, take on the role of each marquee opponent, some of the WWE's greatest of all time, as you aim to take down Mr. Hustle, loyalty, and respect. And then they got your
I actually like the fact that I don't have to play as John Cena.
yeah.
That's a very appealing.
You could be like AJ. You could be like AJ Styles.
Showcase.
You could be like
You just
AJ
get to watch
Styles.
Cena lose
Beat up
over
John
and over
Cena.
and over again. So
You could be like AJ Styles and beat up John Cena.
20 years worth of Cena getting his ass beat.
Charles can't break a game that ships broken. That's yeah, wonderful.
No,
Wonderful. Oh my god.
I'm hoping 2K23 puts their best foot forward this year. I like a lot of what I heard from the interviews that came out today.
Yeah.
About what they've done with the creation suite, what they've done with universe mode, the stuff about the War Games match, and I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm working on Fight Forever. I promise.
Okay,
like when I look, I promise when I have something concrete, the world's gonna know because I'm gonna report it. I'm working on it. I absolutely 100% promise you guys I am working on AEW Fight Forever news. It's pretty big stuff, but I need to get it nailed down. I'm not reporting anything on paper per se that I can't 100% put my name behind. Just be patient with me. It's coming. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Moving on to Monday Night Raw. As we mentioned on our show last week, basically Raw punting again because they had to face the NFL playoffs. It was an okay show, but nothing really noteworthy that really came out of it. I mean, like even Becky Lynch and Bayley did not have a great promo exchange. I don't know what happened there, but that was not really a good promo exchange, and really nothing to really extend many storylines here. Was there?
Yeah, dude, you said it yourself. They punted. It was a better show than the week before.
Yeah.
But it still is just kind of there. I did enjoy it a lot more than the week prior.
Yeah, that elimination
I will
match
give
was
them
pretty
that.
good.
Like they did. I feel like they gave us a much better show than the national championship week.
Yeah.
But look, they knew that they were going to get trounced by the NFL, and they did.
Yeah.
So, but tonight's going to be a big night. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on Raw tonight, and it's in Triple H's best interest to put his best foot forward, because honestly, the road to WrestleMania kicks off tonight because it's leading right into the Rumble, and we're going right through Elimination Chamber, right to WrestleMania. So tonight is the night to deliver a Grand Slam show. They have to.
Yeah. Yep. Next up is NXT. Great, kind of a great or like just a great tribute as live as it happened by Vic Joseph to mention Jay Briscoe on there. I thought that was very classy of, probably Shawn Michaels' call to tell Vic Joseph about that. And so that was pretty classy by them to do that. And this was, I don't know, NXT is kind of in a stage right now. There's
NXT is NXT, man.
Yeah, they're kind of they're kind of getting kind of trying to find their footing as they head to Vengeance Day.
It's literally the only wrestling show of the week that I'll put on, and it's just there. I just have it on in the background. Like I'm not focused on it. I'm not really paying attention. It's just kind of there. If something catches my eye, I'll look up and take a look at it. So look, I would rather a development of Charles. I'd rather a development of a video game to take forever than for it to come out broken. And we've seen that happen countless times in wrestling games in the past. If it all comes out that they're just trying to make sure that this game is as polished and as glitch free as can be on launch, then it'll be worth the wait. I want the game now. Everybody wants the game now. Like I wanted the game 6 months ago, but if it wasn't ready and they're still working on it, then more power to them to not be like, all right, let's just throw the game out and we'll fix it in post. In so many AAA games nowadays, that's their mindset. So I would rather them get it right out of the gate than to fumble it, get terrible reviews, and then by the time they fix it through patch updates, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful that when we finally get our hands on Fight Forever, we're going to be very happy with it because it's going to be a game. It's not a yearly title. They're going to support it for like a few years of DLC and additional content, like new modes, new match types, new wrestlers. Like you're gonna get all that stuff, like all the things we've always wanted a WWE video game to do instead of coming out yearly, and we just wanted like roster updates and arena updates and new match types and stuff. AEW Fight Forever is going to be doing that. So I know we all want it now, but just a little bit more patience. I think I have a big story coming. Trust me, when it's coming, it will be all over my social media. You won't be able to miss it.
Break it on this show.
yeah. I can't say I'll break it on this show, but I might tease it on this show based on the time frame of when everything comes about. But it's coming. I promise you a story. I'm working very, very hard. I'm literally exhausting every resource and source that I have to get this story right, to get the story accurate, and to get it out to you guys as soon as humanly possible. I promise. I'm working on it.
All right, moving on to SmackDown. We start the tag team title tournament with two teams that I kind of don't believe that they should have been matched up in the first round, but here they are. But they had a hell of a first round match. That is the Banger Bros, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus taking on the Viking Raiders. Hit Row moves on. It's kind of funny. It's three heel teams and Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. As Imperium defeated the Brutes and Legado defeated Maximum Male Models. I would have thought it'd been an interesting final if it was Drew and Sheamus against the Brutes. I thought that would have been kind of a fun final because I think we all know the Brutes are going to win this, or the Banger Bros are going to win this tournament.
I think it's Banger Bros. I called Banger Bros Imperium from the beginning. And I think
that's what it feels like.
I think that's what we're getting.
Imperium and Legado. That'll be a lot of fun.
If we're not getting Gunther and Lesnar at WrestleMania, it's Gunther and Sheamus. It has to be. So to continue to intertwine Sheamus with Imperium.
Sheamus wins his first ever Intercontinental title at Mania.
Exactly. Let Sheamus get that Intercontinental title win at WrestleMania. And I think to continue to intertwine him with the Imperium faction going on the road to WrestleMania is the
Yeah.
right call if they're not doing Gunther and Brock. Because it seems to me at this rate, it's way too late to do Lashley and Brock at Rumble. So I feel like at this point we're getting that rubber match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they're going to end up leading to at this point. So we'll find out soon enough.
And cool to see Eric and Ivar and Valhalla with Dim Boys armbands on as well, of course, as War Machine. Hanson and Rowe, many battles with the Briscoe brothers throughout the years. So that was pretty cool to see them pay tribute. Michael Cole paid tribute before the opening match as well. Sami Zayn, man, Roman's a dick, isn't he?
I could have told you that. Everybody knows Roman's a dick.
At least Paul
it's his
still
entire
loves
fucking
him.
Character.
Paul still loves him at least. So
Paul doesn't. Who Paul loves? Who? Roman?
Oh, he loves Roman, but he secretly loves Sammy. He
doesn't love Sammy. He even told Roman that he never liked Sammy to begin with.
I don't know. He got him that meeting with. He got him back into the room with Roman.
Yes,
so.
yeah, but by telling Roman it'd be better to have Sammy in the castle pissing out than outside of the castle pissing in. That's how he convinced Roman to have the meeting with Sammy, leading into his match with KO.
I don't know what Charles is meaning by this, but he says his DMs are open. Who knows what for? But not for news. Well, maybe for news. So maybe.
No.
What'd you think of the Firefly Funhouse making this return on Friday, man?
Loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, that was great.
I know some people were down on it. I loved it. I thought it was probably some of the best stuff Wyatt's done since he's come back. So I thought it was great.
We continued Charlotte and Sonya Deville. And then, of course, all throughout the night, we sprinkled in the tag title match or the tag tournament matches, which most of them were pretty good, per se, outside of whatever it is involved with the maximum male models. I'm just amazed they're still a team right now, this far into Triple H's reign. I'm just kind of amazed. Then we had the contract signing where KO just beat up everybody and bailed. KO wearing a J armband as well. So that is SmackDown. Moving on to AEW. Of course, this is the night after the passing of Jay Briscoe, where we get a graphic to kick things off. Orange Cassidy took on Jay Lethal for the All-Atlantic title to kick things off there. Orange retaining, followed by the Young Bucks in Top Flight. Young Bucks doing a little doomsday device in tribute of Jay Briscoe. I thought that was pretty cool. What did you think of Top Flight getting the win there, Matt?
I pretty much saw it coming. Like the Young Bucks are never, are never beyond putting over, a young and upcoming tag team. They did it with Private Party very early on in AEW in the tag team tournament. I was not surprised to see them give Top Flight the win. They want to help make other tag teams. They want to help bring other people up to their level, and those kind of matches help do that. So I was not surprised at all that Young Bucks did the honors for Top Flight on Wednesday.
Billy Gunn saying there's going to be a family therapy session, whatever the hell that means. No idea.
If we don't get Dr. Shelby, what the fuck are we even doing?
Ricky Starks.
Why everyone wasting our time?
Ricky Starks defeating Jake Hager in his hat. Oh my God. Bandito and Danielson. Woo! As MK says in the chat, that was a 5-star match. I don't know if it was 5 stars, but it's probably about as close as you could get to it because, my Lord, I didn't know you could top Takeshita and Danielson, but I think Bandito and Danielson topped what happened a week prior. Man, that was a classic.
I loved that match.
Woo!
Great match.
That was so good. Bandito definitely earning his contract there for sure. MJF comes out. I guess we're getting the devil coming back. The devil of MJF coming back. No more Mr. Nice Guy. And as we predicted on this very show, Tony Storm and Saraya turning heel, as we mentioned. I saw Ruby come out there. I'm like, no, Ruby, don't do it, Ruby. Don't do it.
She's going to do it.
I thought she was
She's
going to
gonna do it.
because
She didn't do it last week, but she's gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
She's from the Fed, Matt. She came from the Fed, much like the other two ladies. And a very good main event, Darby Allin and Kushida. Good to see Kushida in AEW. Hopefully, it's a more permanent basis, but time will tell on that. I did not watch Rampage, did I? No, I did not, because I would have remembered Jack Perry and Ethan Page. I'm sure that was a good one. I was gone Friday, so
yeah, it was a good match.
Rampage, I was gone Friday, and I did not catch up yet, so I'll have to watch that here later on. Brian Cage, Willie Mack, nice.
Yep.
Is he signed yet, or still free agent?
As far as I know, he's not signed yet. But I think it would be crazy not to sign him for nothing else. For nothing, for nothing else, get him in there for Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, let's look ahead to Raw tonight and AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. Dynamite is another open challenge for Darby Allin against, this time, House of Black's Buddy Matthews. I don't expect a title change there. You?
No, but it's going to be a great match.
Definitely. Jungle Hook reforming. Jack Perry and Hook taking on Ethan Page and Matt Hardy. Is Matt going to start to get more broken, as we've been teasing on being the Elite?
Yeah, I think the trigger gets pulled on Dynamite.
Tony Storm versus Ruby Soho versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in a triple threat match. Think this is where the turn happens, eh?
I don't know if they do it immediately, but they could. I don't know if I do it this quickly, but it would be an interesting spot to do it in.
Jericho and Sammy Guevara, Les Sex Gods reform as they take on Ricky Starks and Action Andretti. The Acclaimed and Guns have a family therapy session, and Brian Cage against Bryan Danielson, and I bet you Brian wins that match.
Danielson's winning the damn thing. He's not losing. He's getting his Iron Man match, and we're going to be up till 4 a.m. watching Revolution that night.
No shit. I told you Brian's going to win it. All right. So the plans are in for Raw 30 here. We got the tribal court for the trial of Sami Zayn. What's going to happen there, Matt?
I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, please, Ruby, don't do it. Be conflicted. Stick with the AEW OGs. You know that's not going to happen.
I can immediately see her hearkening back to her match with Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
When the crowd turned on her in the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah.
You all didn't want me in that finals. You wanted Statlander. Like, I can already hear the promo, from Ruby. Like,
yeah.
There's a chance she doesn't turn, but I'm going 80-20 that she's turning. So
Usos Judgment Day for the tag titles. I said, wouldn't it be interesting on the night that we're putting Sami Zayn on trial that the Usos lose the tag titles? It's not going to happen.
I
would
would Dominic Mysterio in that fucking match. He ain't.
LA Knight is going to cut a promo. Yeah. Becky Lynch, Bayley in a steel cage. Seth Rollins. This will be a good one. Seth Rollins and the Street Profits taking on Imperium. That'll be a real good one.
That should be a hell of a match.
Bianca and Sonya, Charlotte and Miz are going to have promos. There's a Royal Rumble package. I bet it's by the numbers. And
I like those packages.
I do too. U.S. title, Bobby Lashley in Theory. Some spoilers.
I'm calling a title change and a Hurt Business reunion tonight, baby.
Yes, sir. Angle is scheduled to be a special guest referee. I'll leave that a secret unless you're a Fightful Select subscriber. There is a possible pitch for Bray Wyatt and Undertaker to be involved in the LA Knight promo. That'll be interesting. As I mentioned, there is a poker tournament planned with APA, IRS, Ted DiBiase, and other legends. There are a lot of backstage segments that are not listed, so maybe some surprises. Probably none like when Mean Gene and Bobby Heenan were getting it on with Mae Young back in the day. That was a hilarious surprise, as Matt just gave me a facepalm. WWE hopeful that somebody's returning tonight. We'll see if that happens.
He's in Philly. So you might as well just say it. That, like, I heard that this morning. He's in Philadelphia.
Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar.
He's in town. So, like, if he doesn't appear, I don't know what the fuck happened, but he's absolutely in Philadelphia right now.
Cody saying, or MK saying a Cody video package. No, we might have a Cody show up. Maybe a surprise.
I hope we see him live tonight.
Yeah,
he's going to be at the Rumble already. Show up tonight.
It was not going to be a surprise, so yeah, have him show up.
He was already on the damn poster.
Yeah.
Why was anybody surprised by that last week? It really blew my mind that people were upset that was announced. Like, you didn't freaking know.
Carmelo in the Hurt Business. That would be a bad idea.
No, it's not needed.
And let's wrap it up with what's going to happen on Saturday. Royal Rumble predictions.
Royal Ramble.
The Royal Ramble. Rabble and Rabbit. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title. Matt, who you got there?
Bianca retains.
I agree.
I see no way that they're taking the title off of her this close to WrestleMania.
Roman Reigns against Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Universal title. I would love to see Kevin Owens win, but it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, as much as I would love to see KO take the title, it's not happening. Reigns retains.
Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. Yeah, in a Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. I'm going my boy LA Knight. Yeah. Uncle Howdy's going to cost Bray
for the story. It would make sense for LA Knight to win, but I also question WWE's ability to have Wyatt's first televised match back since he's rejoined the company like 4 months ago and have him lose. So I'm gonna go Wyatt. But I could. They could do some interesting things with LA Knight winning that match.
Women's Royal Rumble. Who do you want to see in it that we may not expect, or it's been a while? I want to see Chelsea Green. I want to see Mandy Rose. Oh, Swerve. They made up.
I would love to see Mandy Rose back, but I don't see that happening. I'll go with tried and true. I'll go with Trish Stratus. I'd like to see her do another Rumble appearance. Those are always fun. But as far as who's gonna win, I think it's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been leaning on.
To me, it's either Ripley or Becky. And I would not be surprised if those are the final two as well. So, to me, it's Rhea or Becky.
Yeah, I think it's Rhea, and Rhea's going to dethrone Bianca at WrestleMania. I think that makes sense. For the men, who do you want to see that may not be expected?
You know what? I'd like to see the Undertaker do something. Okay. I don't like how the man had to go out. Last match, a cinematic thing, and COVID, his farewell at Survivor Series to a bunch of screen monitors. I would like to see Undertaker get to go out by doing something. The Rumble, a WrestleMania attraction match. It's just. I would like to see the Undertaker get to go out in front of a real audience to pay their respects to the dead man. I would like to see the Undertaker. As far as who I want to win, I want fucking Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
but if the glass shatters, all that's out the window.
It's kind of funny how
Austin's not going in that match to lose.
It's kind of funny how I said I don't want Rock in it at all, but yet I don't mind Austin in it for some reason. It's kind of weird. And if Austin,
I feel like we've seen Austin less.
And if it's Austin, he'll be a 4-time winner where nobody's done it 3 times. He's the only 3-time winner. That's it. It's Raw's going to start here. So for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning into Lost the Midcard. Enjoy the Rumble. We will be back at you next week. And as always, we are brought to you by Bet Online.